When I think of persistence, I always remember Forrest Gump. He wasn't the fastest nor the smartest, but he had something that made him special, the ability to keep going no matter what. This is something I've always admired and tried to apply in my own life. The scene where Forrest starts playing table tennis is one of the best lessons I've ever seen. He was in a hospital, recovering, not knowing what to do, but decided to pick up a paddle and practice. Not because he knew he'd be good at it, but because he believed that continuing to try was the only option. Forrest practiced every day, unconcerned about what others thought. People around him laughed or doubted, but he just gave his best. I like to say that sometimes you don't need to be brilliant. You just need to be consistent. Forrest wasn't worried about winning or losing. He simply wanted to hit the ball, point after point. That simplicity and effort is something that always inspires me. Watching his progress, I realized that persistence is a quiet strength. Forrest didn't talk about how he wanted to win or be the best. He just showed it with his actions. This is an important lesson for anyone with a dream. Talk less and do more. It doesn't matter how small your progress seems. Every attempt counts. As I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Forrest did exactly that. Over time, that daily effort began to yield incredible results. Forrest not only mastered table tennis but ended up playing in international competitions. It wasn't luck, nor was it a special talent. It was the constant repetition, the willingness to continue even when no one else believed. Persistence is exactly that. You don't need a perfect start. You just need to begin and keep going, one step at a time. There's something powerful about never giving up. When you persist, you're telling the world that no matter how hard it gets, you won't stop. Forrest showed us this. He never looked at the future with fear, but with determination. And that's the essence of persistence, building the future with today's actions, even when the results have yet to appear. Forrest also teaches us that simplicity is a great ally of persistence. He didn't complicate what he did. He just kept his focus on the next point. I've always believed this. Sometimes, the greatest secret to success is continuing when others have already given up. It's not about achieving everything at once, but about doing what can be done today without hesitation. This story of Forrest Gump is a reminder that persistence isn't about talent or resources. It's about the mindset to keep going, even in the face of adversity. That spirit is what transforms small acts into great achievements. You don't need to be extraordinary to start, but what you build with dedication can indeed become extraordinary. Belief is more than just a word. It's the driving force behind every great achievement. When I began dreaming of doing something significant, I had no money, no technology, and often no support from those around me. But do you know what I had? Faith. A deep belief that if I gave my best, something good would happen. It's like planting a seed. You don't know when it will grow, but you believe that with the right care, one day it will bloom. I've always liked to say, if not now, when? If not me, who? This phrase has guided many of my decisions. Believing is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about acting even when the situation seems impossible. Belief is what keeps your mind focused, even when everything around you is falling apart. It's like driving through fog. You can't see the destination, but you trust the road is there, and that's enough to keep moving forward. One example I love to share is when we decided to invest in the internet during its early days. It was something new, unfamiliar, and many said it was a waste of time. But I believed technology had the power to change lives. That belief gave me the courage to keep going, even when there was no concrete evidence that it would work. When you believe, your mind starts searching for solutions instead of focusing on problems. Belief has a curious effect. It doesn't just transform you, but also inspires others. When you believe in something, it's like a flame that lights up inside you, and that flame is contagious. People begin to see the same future you envision. No matter how impossible it seems, that flame spreads and creates a movement. That's what makes the difference between dreamers and achievers, a deep belief in what they do. Maintaining that belief isn't easy, especially in difficult moments. But here's the secret. Believing doesn't mean you never have doubts. It means that even with doubts, you choose to keep going. Because ultimately, belief is the key that opens all doors. It pushes us to do things we never imagined, and connects us with possibilities that once seemed out of reach. Simplicity has always been one of the most powerful principles I've learned in my life. When we began building Alibaba, we had nothing but a clear vision: to make the internet accessible so small businesses could compete globally. We weren't engineers. We didn't have cutting-edge technology, but we believed that if we simplified the tools, we could connect people and create opportunities for those who least expected it. A clear example of this was how we created our initial platform. Many said it would require a complex system with advanced features, but I thought differently. If it was too complicated, who would use it? We opted for a simple and functional design. It was so straightforward that even someone with no technical knowledge could navigate it. This less is more mindset not only helped us grow, but also became the core of our strategy. I like to say, technology is only powerful when it's in everyone's hands. From the beginning, our focus was to build something accessible that any small business owner could understand and use. While other companies targeted large corporations, we focused on the smaller players. Simplicity democratizes success. It allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. Simplicity is also a way to solve problems. When we face challenges at Alibaba, we always return to the question, how can we make this simpler? The same applies to life. Often we complicate things by seeking perfect solutions when all we need is to take the first small step. Simplicity isn't a shortcut. It's a powerful strategy to turn the complex into something manageable. This principle extends beyond technology to leadership. When leading my team, I strive to communicate clearly and directly. It's not about using fancy words, but about ensuring the message reaches people's hearts. Simplicity isn't a limitation. It's a bridge to connect with more people and create impact. Dreaming big is important, but what truly changes lives is the ability to turn those dreams into concrete goals. When I envisioned what Alibaba could become, I knew it wasn't enough to simply think about a grand future. We needed a plan. And that plan had to be broken into small, manageable parts. I always say big dreams start with small steps. This was the foundation of what we built. Turning dreams into goals starts with one simple question: what can I do today to get closer to that objective? When we founded Alibaba, we didn't start by aiming to connect millions of businesses worldwide. Our focus was clear: help one local store sell its products online. That small achievement became the foundation for building something bigger. Dreams need structure, and structure comes from dividing big goals into small milestones. Another critical aspect is commitment. A dream without action is just a beautiful idea. To turn it into reality, consistency is essential. I committed myself to learning something new every day, quickly correcting mistakes and never losing sight of what we wanted to achieve. Achievable goals are measurable, adjustable, and continuously pursued, even in the face of challenges. That's how progress is maintained. However, staying focused is crucial. When you have a big dream, it's easy to get distracted by ideas that seem quicker or easier. But if you're not clear about your goals, you'll lose your way. I like to say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Turning dreams into goals is about aligning your mindset, skills, and attitude with the objective. Above all, you need to celebrate small victories along the way. Each goal achieved is a step closer to the bigger dream. This keeps your motivation high and shows you're on the right track. Dreaming is the beginning, but turning a dream into a plan is what makes it a reality. In the end, the impossible is just a series of small steps not yet taken. A dream is more than a goal. It's a force that moves people and transforms the world. When I founded Alibaba, we started with 18 people in a small apartment. We had no money, no technology, and no advantages. What kept us together was the power of a dream, using the internet to help small businesses thrive. That dream was so clear to us that, even in difficult times, we never thought about giving up. The power of a dream lies in its ability to connect. When you share a dream with others, it's no longer just yours, it becomes a collective mission. This creates a unique energy. My team believed in the vision as much as I did, and that's what sustains any grand project, not resources, but the collective belief in something greater. I often say, When you're poor but you have a dream, you never feel poor. This phrase reflects the truth about how dreams give us purpose and help us overcome the toughest moments. They give us courage to attempt the impossible and motivate those around us. A dream is like a compass. It provides direction and keeps you focused, even in uncertain times. But a dream is not just inspiration. It's also the foundation for action. At Alibaba, the dream wasn't just about financial success, but about impact. We wanted to help millions of small businesses thrive. That greater purpose drove us to work harder, learn from every failure, and never lose sight of what truly mattered. The power of a dream lies in its ability to unite vision and action. In the end, what makes a dream powerful is the passion that sustains it. When you believe deeply, you inspire others to believe too. It doesn't matter where you start or what resources you have. What matters is the strength of the dream you carry. That strength can transform lives, create new possibilities, and achieve what once seemed out of reach. If there's a secret to turning the impossible into possible, it lies in the strength of teamwork. When we started Alibaba, there were 18 of us in a small apartment with no resources but a clear purpose. From the very beginning, I knew I couldn't do it alone. The real advantage wasn't my individual vision, but the unity and diversity of talents within the team. Each person brought something unique, and together, we created something far greater than any of us could have achieved alone. Teamwork requires trust. I've always believed that the best way to build a strong team is by allowing each person to shine in what they do best. I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I've learned to surround myself with people who are smarter than me. I say this with pride because that's the essence of a winning team. Every member contributes their strength, and together they complement each other. However, teamwork also means facing challenges together. No matter how talented you are, difficulties will arise, and it's in those moments that the true strength of a team is revealed. I like to recall the phrase, "If you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself." In a team, this means you must be willing to adapt, learn, and support each other to achieve the common goal. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is to put people first. At Alibaba, I always emphasized that our customers come first, employees second, and shareholders third. Many investors didn't like this approach, but I believe that taking care of people was the key to success. When your team feels valued, they work with passion and deliver extraordinary results. The unity within a team creates an unbeatable force. It's like building a bridge. Every piece is essential, and the absence of one could compromise the entire structure. When everyone shares the same vision and works with determination, the impossible becomes possible. In the end, success isn't about what you achieve individually, but what you build together with others. I firmly believe that the future belongs to the young. The generation born after 1980, which I call the internet generation, has innovation embedded in its DNA. When we started Alibaba, we didn't have the tools or resources that today's youth have. Yet with just 18 people, we believed we could create something impactful. Today's generation has even greater potential, with access to technology, knowledge, and global networks that we could only dream of back then. Empowering young people means giving them the platform to dream and create. This isn't about handing them solutions, but equipping them with the confidence to design their own paths. I often tell young entrepreneurs, if not now, when? If not me, who? This generation has an extraordinary advantage. They are surrounded by tools that enable them to turn ideas into reality. All they need is the belief that they can make it happen. What inspires me most about this generation is their ability to adapt. They don't just accept change, they drive it. In the fast-paced world of technology and business, adaptability is a superpower. The young people of today see opportunities where others see obstacles. They are reshaping industries, creating new business models, and solving problems in ways we never imagined. Their fresh perspective is a game changer for the future of business. However, with great opportunities come great responsibilities. I always emphasize the importance of using technology and innovation for good. Success is not just about personal gain, it's about creating solutions that benefit society as a whole. This is why I encourage young leaders to think not only about profits, but also about purpose. How can they use their knowledge and tools to leave a positive impact on the world? The new generation gives me hope because they are not bound by the limitations of the past. They think differently, and that's exactly what the world needs right now. They have the energy, creativity, and courage to build the future. The question is, how will they use this incredible potential to shape the world for the better? Positive thinking is not just a mindset, it's a catalyst for powerful action. I've always believed that your attitude determines your altitude. When you maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of challenges, you open doors to solutions that others might overlook. For me, it's not about ignoring problems, but about choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. This perspective has helped me and my team navigate countless obstacles. One thing I've learned is that positive thinking is contagious. When you believe in what you're doing, others start to believe too. During the early days of Alibaba, there were times when the challenges seemed insurmountable, but by maintaining an optimistic attitude, I inspired my team to keep pushing forward. Positivity doesn't eliminate difficulties, but it gives you the strength to face them head-on. I often say, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. This is the power of optimism. It turns what you have into enough and keeps you moving towards something greater. A positive mindset allows you to see opportunities even in the smallest things. It teaches you to be grateful, to learn from failures, and to turn setbacks into stepping stones. Positive thinking also fuels resilience. It helps you bounce back faster when things go wrong. Instead of dwelling on mistakes, you focus on what can be learned and how to improve. This approach not only boosts your personal growth, but also strengthens the people around you. In a team, optimism creates a culture of hope and determination, making even the toughest challenges seem manageable. Ultimately, positive thinking shapes your actions. It makes you proactive rather than reactive, encouraging you to take bold steps instead of holding back. When you approach life with optimism, you're not just hoping for the best, you're creating it. And that's the kind of energy that transforms lives, businesses, and communities. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that our job is to make the impossible possible. This mindset has been at the core of everything I've done. When people told me that creating an internet-based business in China was impossible, I didn't argue. I simply worked to prove them wrong. The impossible is not a fact. It's a challenge waiting to be tackled by someone bold enough to try. Making the impossible possible starts with daring to dream. But dreaming alone isn't enough. You have to pair it with relentless action. In the early days of Alibaba, we faced countless obstacles, technological limitations, financial constraints, and skepticism from all sides. But I always reminded my team that obstacles are just opportunities in disguise. With the right approach, you can turn barriers into stepping stones. Failure is an inevitable part of this process, but it's not something to fear. I've always said that mistakes are the best teachers. Each time you fail, you're given the chance to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. The impossible is only temporary until someone discovers a way around it. If you're willing to keep trying, keep learning, and keep improving, the impossible becomes achievable. To achieve what seems impossible, you need to be resourceful. Many people think they need perfect conditions to succeed, but the truth is, you don't need everything to be ideal. You just need to make the most of what you have. I always say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Success often depends on how well you can adapt to the situation. The world is full of people who said, "It can't be done," and a few who dared to prove otherwise. The difference lies in the mindset. When you believe that the impossible is just another challenge, you unlock a level of creativity and determination that others can't match. That's how mountains are moved and history is made. The journey to success is never easy. I've often said, today is difficult, tomorrow will be more difficult, but the day after tomorrow will be beautiful. This simple truth has carried me through some of the toughest times in my life. Most people give up during the struggle, but those who persevere are the ones who get to see the beauty of the day after tomorrow. The first day, the struggle, is where you face your greatest challenges. It's when doubts creep in, when failures test your patience, and when the weight of uncertainty feels unbearable. But this is also the day when your character is forged. Pushing through the hardships of today requires resilience and a belief that the effort will pay off. even if the results aren't immediate. The second day, the even harder one, is where many lose their way. This is when you feel like the challenges are piling up faster than you can handle. But here's the secret. It's also the moment when you're closest to breaking through. Every major success story is built on the foundation of those who kept going when it seemed impossible. When you finally reach the day after tomorrow, you begin to see the fruits of your labor. It's the moment when all the sacrifices and struggles start to make sense. But the beauty isn't just in the results. It's in the transformation you've undergone. You've grown stronger, wiser, and more capable because you didn't give up when it was hard. This philosophy isn't just about enduring pain, it's about embracing the process. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. If you can endure the difficulties of today and tomorrow, the beauty of the day after is yours to claim. And that beauty isn't just success, it's the realization of your potential. Commerce is more than the exchange of goods. It's a way to connect people, cultures, and ideas. When I started Alibaba, I wasn't just thinking about building a business. I was thinking about creating bridges between individuals and communities. At its heart, commerce is a tool for sharing passion, innovation, and culture. It's not about transactions, it's about relationships. I've always believed that small businesses are the soul of commerce. They bring unique stories, local traditions, and personal touches that big corporations often cannot replicate. Our goal with Alibaba was to empower these small businesses to reach global audiences. By giving them a platform, we weren't just helping them sell products, we were helping them share their stories with the world. Global commerce should unite, not divide. It's an opportunity to foster understanding between countries and create opportunities for everyone, regardless of their size or resources. When a farmer in a remote village can sell their products to a customer halfway around the world, that's more than just a sale. It's a connection that breaks down barriers and opens new possibilities. At Alibaba, we focused on simplifying commerce to make it accessible to everyone. Large corporations already had their networks, but who was helping the smaller players? We wanted to be the platform that leveled the playing field. This vision was driven by the belief that commerce could be a force for good, spreading prosperity and innovation to every corner of the globe. Commerce isn't just about products, it's about people. Every transaction represents a dream, whether it's a small business owner trying to grow or a customer finding something they truly need. When we see commerce as a way to connect rather than compete, it becomes a powerful tool for creating a better, more inclusive world. Passion is the fuel that keeps your dreams alive. Without it, the journey becomes exhausting, and the obstacles feel insurmountable. When I started Alibaba, it wasn't just about building a company, it was about doing something I loved and believed in deeply. That passion gave me the energy to face challenges, learn from failures, and keep moving forward, even when the odds were against us. I've often said that if you don't love what you do, it's hard to stick with it. Passion isn't just a spark, it's a constant fire that pushes you to wake up every morning ready to tackle the impossible. It's what keeps you working late, not because you have to, but because you want to. Passion is what makes the hard days worthwhile and the victories even sweeter. When you love what you do, it shows in the results. At Alibaba, our focus wasn't just on profits, it was on creating value for our customers and society. That sense of purpose made every challenge meaningful. Passion isn't just about enthusiasm, it's about commitment to something bigger than yourself. It's what transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary achievements. Passion also inspires others. When people see how deeply you care about your work, they can't help but be drawn to it. It creates a ripple effect, energizing those around you and building momentum. That's why I always emphasize the importance of finding your why, the reason behind what you do. Once you have that, the how becomes much easier to figure out. If you're searching for your passion, start by asking yourself, what excites you? What problems do you feel compelled to solve? Passion isn't always something you find immediately, it's something you cultivate. And when you align your dreams with your passion, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Technology should never be a privilege. It should be a tool that empowers everyone. When we started Alibaba, the internet was in its infancy in China. Many people doubted it would work, especially for small businesses. But I saw technology as the great equalizer, a way to give those with limited resources a chance to compete on a global scale. It wasn't about creating complex systems, it was about making them accessible to everyone. I always believed that technology's true power lies in its ability to bridge gaps. Whether it's a small farmer selling produce or an artisan showcasing their crafts, technology gives them a platform to reach beyond their immediate surroundings. At Alibaba, our mission was to simplify this process so that even those with little technical knowledge could thrive in the digital economy. Accessibility is the cornerstone of meaningful innovation. We didn't create Alibaba for the big corporations, we created it for the underdogs, the small entrepreneurs who had the passion but not the platform. When you design technology with simplicity in mind, you unlock opportunities for millions of people who were previously excluded. This democratization of technology is what excites me the most. It's not just about building a business, it's about creating a ripple effect that transforms communities and economies. When technology is used responsibly and inclusively, it becomes a force for good, reducing barriers and bringing people closer together. In the end, technology is only as powerful as the lives it touches. When we create tools that are inclusive and accessible, we're not just advancing technology, we're advancing humanity. The future belongs to those who use innovation to empower others, not just themselves. A powerful vision doesn't just inspire you, it inspires others to believe in it too. When I started Alibaba, I didn't have all the answers, but I had a vision of a world where small businesses could compete globally, using the internet to bridge gaps. That vision was clear, and I shared it with my team, customers, and partners. The more I believed in it, the more others began to believe as well. Sharing your vision is about storytelling. People don't just want to hear facts, they want to feel connected to your dream. I would often tell my team, if not now, when? If not me, who? This wasn't just a question, it was a call to action. A shared vision creates momentum because it gives everyone a sense of purpose and direction. Inspiration is contagious. When you're passionate and clear about your goals, people naturally gravitate toward you. But to truly inspire, you must also show vulnerability. I've always been open about the challenges and failures we faced at Alibaba. When people see that you're human, they connect with you on a deeper level and become more invested in your vision. A great vision isn't just about you, it's about the impact you want to create. At Alibaba, our vision wasn't about becoming the biggest company. It was about empowering people. That's why it resonated with so many, from small business owners to our employees. When your vision is inclusive and meaningful, it becomes a movement that others want to be part of. The key to inspiring others is authenticity. People don't follow visions that are shallow or self-serving, but when they see your genuine belief and effort, they're willing to join you, even in the face of uncertainty. That's the true power of a vision. It doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of everyone it touches. The world is constantly changing, and the only way to stay relevant is to keep learning. I often tell people, I wasn't born a businessman, I was a teacher. My background as an English teacher taught me the value of education, not just in schools, but in every stage of life. At Alibaba, we succeeded because we were always learning, adapting, and evolving. Continuous learning isn't about formal education, it's about curiosity. I taught myself English by talking to tourists, practicing every day until it became second nature. That same curiosity drove me to understand the internet, even when it was new and unfamiliar. Learning is not about mastering everything, it's about staying open to new ideas and embracing change. At Alibaba, we built a culture of learning. Mistakes weren't seen as failures, but as lessons. Every challenge we faced was an opportunity to grow. I believe that those who stop learning stop growing, and in a world moving as fast as ours, that's the biggest risk of all. Learning is also about humility. No matter how much you achieve, there's always more to know. I've always surrounded myself with people smarter than me because they push me to think differently and see possibilities I might have missed. In a rapidly evolving world, your willingness to learn determines your ability to lead. Ultimately, continuous learning is the key to personal and professional growth. It keeps you relevant, adaptable, and prepared for the future. The more you learn, the more you can contribute, not just to your success, but to the success of those around you. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship, it's about growing stronger through it. Before founding Alibaba, I faced countless failures. I failed university entrance exams multiple times, got rejected from over 30 job applications, and was told repeatedly that my ideas wouldn't work. But each failure taught me something valuable, and every rejection pushed me to try harder. Resilience is built through experience. It's the ability to get back up, even when the world knocks you down. At Alibaba, we didn't succeed overnight. It took years of persistence, mistakes, and learning to build what we have today. I often say that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Those who keep running, no matter how slow, are the ones who eventually cross the finish line. The key to resilience is mindset. You have to see failures not as endings, but as stepping stones. When something doesn't work, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every setback is an opportunity to grow, improve, and come back stronger. Resilience isn't about never falling, it's about always rising. Resilience also requires support. No one succeeds alone. At Alibaba, I leaned on my team during tough times, and we leaned on each other. Building resilience is easier when you're surrounded by people who share your vision and are willing to fight alongside you. In the end, resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's not talent or luck. It's the ability to endure, adapt, and thrive, even in the face of adversity. When you build resilience, you build a foundation that can weather any storm. Innovation is not a luxury, it's a necessity. In today's fast-paced world, standing still is the same as falling behind. When we started Alibaba, we had to innovate constantly, not because we wanted to, but because we had no other choice. We didn't have the resources of large corporations, so we had to think creatively to survive and grow. Innovation isn't just about technology, it's about mindset. It's the willingness to look at old problems in new ways. When we introduced Singles Day as a shopping event in China, many thought it was a ridiculous idea. But we believed in its potential, and today, it's one of the largest shopping festivals in the world. True innovation comes from taking risks and challenging the status quo. To foster innovation, you must create an environment where people aren't afraid to fail. At Alibaba, we encouraged experimentation, knowing that not every idea would succeed. Failure is not the enemy of innovation, fear is. When people are free to explore and test their ideas, they often discover breakthroughs that wouldn't have been possible otherwise. Innovation also requires empathy. To create something meaningful, you must understand the needs of the people you're serving. Whether it's customers, employees, or society at large, innovation starts with listening and responding to their challenges. This approach ensures that your ideas are not only creative, but also impactful. In the end, innovation is about building the future. It's not just about solving today's problems, but anticipating tomorrow's opportunities. Those who embrace innovation as a necessity are the ones who shape the world and lead it into a brighter future.
Jack Ma, the renowned founder of Alibaba, once again mesmerized audiences with his profound insights into achieving success against all odds. His words, spoken with authenticity and passion, were not just lessons but a call to action for anyone striving to transform their life. Jack Ma delved deep into the themes that shaped his extraordinary journey, emphasizing that persistence, belief, simplicity, and the power of dreaming big are the cornerstones of success. The presentation began with a vivid reminder of the importance of persistence in achieving dreams. Jack Ma shared how unwavering determination, much like the story of Forrest Gump's table tennis journey, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. It's not about starting perfectly, but about continuing with resilience and focus, even when the road seems impossible. His anecdotes demonstrated that persistence is not just a skill. It's a way of life that builds character and drives progress. Jack Ma's message then shifted to the transformative power of belief. He spoke about how believing in your vision, even when the world doubts you, is the first step to making it real. With his signature phrase, "If not now, when? If not me, who?" Jack Ma challenged the audience to act with confidence and take responsibility for their dreams. Belief, he explained, isn't about knowing the outcome, but about trusting the process and taking consistent action. Simplicity, another key theme of the presentation, was brought to life through Jack Ma's reflections on building Alibaba. He emphasized that success doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler the approach, the more effective it can be. By simplifying technology for small businesses, Jack Ma showed that accessibility and clarity are the true game changers. He reminded everyone that simplicity empowers people to act, bridging the gap between vision and action. The conversation deepened as Jack Ma explored how dreams become achievable through thoughtful planning and action. Big dreams, he said, are essential, but they must be broken into smaller, actionable steps to make them a reality. He shared how his team at Alibaba turned a grand vision into measurable goals, proving that even the most ambitious aspirations can be accomplished with the right strategy and mindset. Jack Ma also captivated the audience by highlighting the immense strength found in dreaming together. He recalled how Alibaba's beginnings were fueled by the collective belief of a small but dedicated team. Dreams, he said, have the power to unite people, providing direction and motivation even in the most challenging times. This collective energy, fueled by a shared vision, was the foundation for Alibaba's global success. What made Jack Ma's presentation truly memorable was his ability to inspire through real stories. His reflections were not just about business. They were about life, about embracing resilience, simplicity, and the courage to keep moving forward. His insights reminded everyone that success isn't reserved for the smartest or the most privileged, but for those who dare to dream and act. By the end of the presentation, it was clear that Jack Ma's wisdom resonated deeply with the audience. His powerful narrative tied persistence, belief, simplicity, and the strength of a dream into a cohesive roadmap for success. Jack Ma left no doubt that the impossible can be achieved if we dare to take the first step and remain steadfast in our pursuit of greatness. Now that you've explored these invaluable lessons, it's time to apply them in your life. What steps can you take today to transform your dreams into reality? How can you channel persistence, simplicity, and passion into your everyday actions? Remember, as Jack Ma says, if not now, when? If not me, who? Let these insights inspire you to think bigger, act boldly, and embrace the challenges that come your way. Share in the comments which lesson resonated most with you. Revisit this video whenever you need a spark of motivation. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more transformational content. For more inspiration, dive into our next video. I will win. Motivational quotes for success, Jack Ma's advice, and continue your journey toward success. Let's keep growing together.